Several other equities research analysts have also issued reports on the company. Deutsche Bank AG reiterated a buy rating on shares of Nike in a report on Sunday, July 17. B. Riley lowered Nike to a neutral rating and set a $62 price target for the company. In a report on Wednesday, August 31, Vetr upgraded Nike from a sell rating to a hold rating and set a $54.01 price target for the company. In a report on Wednesday, August 3, Piper Jaffray Cos set a $58 target price on Nike and gave the stock a hold rating in a report on Thursday, September 22. Finally, Brean Capital restated a hold rating on shares of Nike in a report on Wednesday, November 9. One analyst has rated the stock with a sell rating, 11 have issued a hold rating, 21 have given a buy rating, and 1 has assigned a strong buy rating to the company's stock. The stock currently has a consensus rating of buy and a consensus target price of $63.45. Analyst recommendations for Nike, New York Stock Exchange NKE. Nike Incorporated logo. Barclays Plc reissued their overweight rating on shares of Nike Incorporated, New York Stock Exchange NKE, in a report issued on Friday. Barclays Plc currently has a $65 target price on the footwear maker's stock. Nike, New York Stock Exchange NKE, traded up 0.8428% on Friday, reaching $50.5525. 2,023,882 shares of the company traded hands. The firm has a 50-day moving average price of $51.76 and a 200-day moving average price of $55.22. The stock has a market capitalization of $84.19 billion, a price-to-earnings ratio of 22.8125, and a beta of 0.48. Nike has a 52-week low of $49.01 and a 52-week high of $68.20. Nike, New York Stock Exchange NKE, last released its earnings results on Tuesday, September 27. The footwear maker reported 73 cents earnings per share for the quarter, beating the Thomson Reuters' consensus estimate of 56 cents by 17 cents. Nike had a return on equity of 30.56% and a net margin of 11.60%. The company had revenue of $9.06 billion for the quarter. During the same period last year, the firm earned $1.34 EPS. The company's revenue was up 7.7% compared to the same quarter last year. Equities research analysts predict that Nike will post $2.37 EPS for the current year. In other news, Director John C. Lechleiter acquired 1,000 shares of Nike stock in a transaction that occurred on Friday, September 30. The shares were acquired at an average price of $52.72 per share, for a total transaction of $52,720. Following the transaction, the director now directly owns 27,560 shares of the company's stock, valued at approximately $1,452,963.20. The acquisition was disclosed in a filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission, which can be accessed through this hyperlink. Also, Chairman Mark G. Parker sold 150,000 shares of the business's stock in a transaction on Tuesday, November 1. The stock was sold at an average price of $49.78 for a total value of $7,467,000. Following the sale, the chairman now owns 1,985,225 shares in the company, valued at approximately $98,824,500.50. The disclosure for this sale can be found here. 3.90% of the stock is owned by insiders. Large investors have recently modified their holdings of the company. Vanguard Group Incorporated raised its stake in shares of Nike by 0.4% in the second quarter. Vanguard Group Incorporated now owns 89,158,174 shares of the footwear maker's stock worth $4,921,530,000 after buying an additional 366,833 shares in the last quarter. BlackRock Institutional Trust Company N.A. increased its position in shares of Nike by 1.8% in the third quarter. BlackRock Institutional Trust Company N.A. now owns 36,587,010 shares of the footwear maker's stock valued at $1,926,306,000 after buying an additional 662,231 shares during the last quarter. Bank of New York Mellon Corporation increased its position in shares of Nike by 0.5% in the third quarter. Bank of New York Mellon Corporation now owns 29,211,934 shares of the footwear maker's stock valued at $1,538,008,000 after buying an additional 143,272 shares during the last quarter. Janus Capital Management LLC increased its position in shares of Nike by 14.4% in the second quarter. Janus Capital Management LLC now owns 25,453,224 shares of the footwear maker's stock valued at $1,405,003,000 after buying an additional 3,203,177 shares during the last quarter. Finally, Morgan Stanley increased its position in shares of Nike by 10.1% in the third quarter. Morgan Stanley now owns 22,764,806 shares of the footwear maker's stock valued at $1,198,567,000 after buying an additional 2,090,700 shares during the last quarter. Institutional investors and hedge funds own 62.58% of the company's stock.